Hello, my loves. Welcome back for today's video. Today we're going to be doing a energy update, energy check-in, and a card reading for the collective / a little food for thought. Basically, this is how I do my rituals to start off either, the month or the moon cycle or any of those various things. And I thought I would take you along and create some space for you to create some space for yourself if that's what you're desiring right now. I know sometimes walking a spiritual path can be a lonely road. And while I am going to sit here and kind of talk at you, I do hope that you kind of interact with what I'm saying, take notes, journal, pull cards for yourself, whatever feels right for you, and allow this to be a co-creative space where we're just friends and we're just chatting and talking about the energies and what's coming up and taking some time to practice and set intentions for ourselves and things. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and roll into a little breathwork exercise. We're going to talk about the theme, and then I'll pull cards for the collective, and I'll leave you with some quote-unquote magical homework. If you've ever been in one of my classes or ritual containers or anything like that, this will be very familiar format for you. But if you're just happen to be here in my YouTube land and you hadn't encountered one of these with me before, I just wanted to set the stage for you so you know what we're doing. So if that sounds like a ride you want to be on, then welcome to this space. I'm going to give you a moment to gather your materials if that's what you would like to do and participate. Again, journals. I'm going to light some sacred smoke for us. I have a candle going, cards, a beverage, whatever feels good for you. And I'm just going to go ahead and set our sacred space with a little bit of smoke. Just kind of denoting the space as sacred and clearing out anything that is, lingering from the work that I did before we arrived in this space together. Sending a little bit of this smoke your way if you're in need of some clearing yourself. All right. And if my desk looks dirty and black, it's because of the ash. Now that you have all of your materials gathered and your space set up, I invite you to do a little grounding and centering ritual with me. I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. One more in and out. Arriving here in this moment, continuing to breathe deeply and allowing your exhale to roll out of your tongue like water, as if your exhales are waves leaving your body. Breathing in and out. Coming to a place now of stillness and awareness of your body. Feeling the gravity of the earth pull you towards its core. Breathing in and out. And as you feel even more weighted by the gravity, I invite you to also then bring awareness to the sky above you, to activate your connection to your divinity, to the cosmos, to all that is. Seeing your connection to the divine activate via a channel of light coming down from the sky through the core of your body. Breathing in and out. Feeling the gravity of the earth and your connection to the divine collide and anchor together within your heart space. Invitation to bring your hands to your heart if that feels aligned for you. And gently tap, awakening the marriage of these two energies of earth and sky within your being, bridging the gap of your soul between the human and the unseen. Breathing in and out. In this moment, we honor our wholeness, our divinity, and our humanness, our completeness in all of our imperfections or perceived imperfections. Knowing that we are so much more and so much more powerful than we think we are. And from this place of grounded soul alignment, we call in our guides with gratitude and grace, thanking them for always walking with us along our path, even when we don't always acknowledge them. In this moment, we consciously call in our guides, our cosmic soul team, our allies, our healed ancestors, and any deities that would like to come and work magic with us today for the highest and greatest good of all. Breathing in and releasing the breath. Allowing space for you to set your own intention for this session and to call in any allies that are coming forward for you now. And with gratitude, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Giving a big stretch, wiggling the fingertips, fluttering the eyes open, reorienting yourself back with your space. Taking a sip of whatever beverage you have. I'm drinking coffee today. Today, I'm feeling, like I said, called to share with you the ritual that I would usually do for myself. And I always start with a little meditation, connecting and expressing gratitude. And then usually if I'm by myself, I'm pondering some topic and really just taking time to sit in and feel into the energy that's coming up. But because I'm doing this with you, I thought I would speak into what it is that I am feeling, what's been coming up lately, and the synchronicities that are happening with other things, such as the astrology that's going on, as I feel these are really collective themes. That's what I like to tap into at kind of the start of things is how am I interacting with what energy is moving through the collective at this time? So as I'm recording this, we are into Aquarius season. We are almost halfway through, I think. And I'm actually recording this on Imbolc. And, Imbolc is this funny cross-quarter celebration between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And for a long time, I didn't resonate with this particular witch's holiday, if you will, because I felt very disconnected to the themes that other people were sharing. Other people are sharing it very much in the light of it being a welcoming of spring kind of celebration, where in a lot of the world, flowers are popping up and people are getting ready to plant things and have their first harvest, and animals are coming out of hibernation and all that stuff. But where I live in Maine, so the northern United States, like the northernmost part of the United States. And we are literally in our deepest part of winter right now. It is usually the coldest month. February is. I'm staring at a 4-foot snowbank of snow right now. Like, spring does not feel externally around the corner, although it is unusually warm today. I digress. While your experience of this coming of spring, right, might look externally different depending on where you live. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're not even experiencing winter and spring. You're actually in, summer moving into fall here. The energy that we feel internally can be the same, right? Even though my external world does not reflect spring, there is a spring that is happening within me. But the spring has not yet sprung. It is a liminal space. I know I keep talking about this, but I'm very passionate about these liminal spaces, and they just seem to be part of my mission here. So what a liminal space is, if you haven't heard me speak about this before, is it is a crossroads or a period of transition. It's a moment where nothing and everything exists. It's the spot between where we're not quite the thing before, but we're not quite the thing moving forward. And this cross-quarter holiday of Imbolc, or just this season in general, right, this February season, it's very much in that in-between space. We're still sitting in the winter energy a little bit. We're still resting. We're still being called to slow down and go within. But there is this coming and building energy of the spring that we are moving into, and it's calling us forward and it's making us excited. And you may find that you're having a lot of creative ideas. I know my friends that I've been talking to, they're like, I have so many ideas, and yet I also just want to take naps and and rest. And both of these things get to be alive for us at this time. And the astrology, in terms of the zodiac sun sign that we're in at the moment. Now, disclaimer, I'm not an astrologer. I've been working my way through learning more and more about astrology, but so I'm going to speak to what I do know. Please do not take this as, official astrology advice, but I digress. Since we are in the sun season of Aquarius, Aquarius is very much about being that visionary. And while the sign of Aquarius is the water bearer, it's actually an air sign, which is quite interesting when you think about it, right? You think about water and air, and bearing the water, being the container for water, and moving with that in air, in the mental realms. And water is, of course, associated with emotion and intuition and feeling and really tapping into our inner truth. This truth has been coming up a lot for me lately, and the idea of an inner truth and what your authentic truth is. And one beautiful invitation that we get when we're thinking about this, right? Because air is also about speaking, it's communication. And where we're taking time to communicate our truth, we are literally building our reality. Whatever we speak, whether that be audibly, in your head to yourself, in your prayers to your spirit guides, on paper, in your journal, right? What we're speaking brings things into existence. So when we are looking at moving into this spring energy, we're thinking about moving forward, right? Emerging from the slumber, moving forward with our vision. And as we do that, if we don't take the time to pause and feel and understand and cultivate and begin to try and uncover and express this personal truth that we have for ourselves, this vision of what we would really like to carry forward, then when we begin to take actions, it's not going to be aligned with where it is that we truly desire to go. It's not going to be soul aligned action because we didn't take the time to align with our soul aligned truth. And this can be a hard place to sit in, right? Especially with these two opposing energies, these two conflicting energies of like, I have all of these beautiful ideas. I have this vision coming to life. I'm getting little nuggets of it here and there. I'm getting signs and synchronicities and creative ideas, and I want to go, 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 go. But if we don't capture those and allow them to develop and percolate and unfold in the context of our larger vision, we can end up just spinning our wheels, and it gets very chaotic. And it can be hard to wait, right? It can be hard to actually just like sit down and write the things down and allow things to percolate and to move internally, to flow like water, because we want to step into that fire energy that comes with the spring, right? We want to come back alive. But before we can come back alive, we play within that liminal space, with the space in between, where all things are possible. And it can be scary, right? It can be scary to think I can do anything, which means I have to choose something. And oftentimes I think we can get really caught up in not setting visions, or at least I know I can in my experience, and to some people that I've mentored. It can be easy to get in this space of avoiding setting the vision because it feels so final and so concrete and so locked in, and like you have to have it figured out. And there's this pressure of, what if I choose the wrong thing? What if the vision I set isn't the vision I actually want? What if I can't see the full scope of it? What if it doesn't come about the way that I envisioned it? What if I miss the steps to get me where I want to go? What if, right? But when we don't set the vision, we actually end up making a choice to stay where we are. Now, there's nothing wrong with staying where you are. If you're content where you are, stay there. There are definitely times where that is the most aligned choice, and we need to stop and take a step back and appreciate where we are and where we've been, right? But if there's something you would like to manifest in your life, if there was something you would like to move forward with, then we need to make the active choice. And we don't have to have it all figured out. We just have to choose and explore and dig and craft that vision so that we can have somewhere to start channeling our creative fire into, right? Just because we choose a vision doesn't mean we have to get married to it, right? We don't have to stick to it, but we do need to start somewhere. And the universe can't bring opportunities to us that are aligned with our soul unless we understand what the vision is for that soul alignment or for a piece of it, right? Because walking a soul aligned path is often like walking in the dark with a little tiny flashlight, right? You have your little candle, which is your vision and your connection to the divine and your faith with where you're going, right? And your trust in that and your trust in yourself. And you have all this stuff riding on this one path, right? And it can be scary to walk in the dark and only be able to see what little bit that's lit around your candle. But if we don't take time to light our candle, to craft our candle, to connect, to envision, then there's no progress. We're not moving and seeing the next thing in the dark, and the next thing in the dark, and the next thing in the dark. We just sit in the dark. And sometimes sitting in the dark feels more comfortable than shining our light forward a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So this is what's really alive in the energy of this time, of this moment, is this energy of I get to hermit, I get to rest, I get to rejuvenate and fill my cup, I get to slow down, I get to be patient. But within that, I also get to play and I get to imagine and I get to indulge in things that I find joyous and pleasurable, and I get to create and craft visions. This isn't about casting a vision to immediately, spring into action. This is about imagining, exploring what the future could be, right? Aquarius is very inventive. They're future oriented. So this is not about, I want a car. This is about, I want the experience of going on a long drive through the countryside with the windows down and the wind in my hair and the beautiful music playing over the radio while my, seat just feels so luxurious and hugs me in all the right ways. And this is how the steering wheel feels under my hand. And this is what I see going by. And I can hear the birds and the trees. You see, that's a vision. Now, manifesting a thing, in our example, a car, right? It might get you to that moment of the vision, but the thing isn't the vision. The vision is the whole spectrum of things, okay? And we get to play with that. And I might do in the future a whole class on vision setting and intention setting and all of those things. I used to teach that in my Manifesting a Magical Life course, which I feel like needs to be updated. So I haven't run that again. But if you're interested in that, do let me know down below. But I hope that illustrates what this vision is, right? So now we have the context. We have the context of the energy, what we're feeling, and I want to take a moment now to pause and allow you to bring into your own experience what you're feeling about that. What came to mind as I was speaking? Where are you desiring to take this? What has been coming up for you that is or isn't aligned with what I was speaking about? I want to invite you to grab your journal. I'm going to give you a few moments and allow you to just sink into that for a moment. digest the information, because if we don't take it in and ponder what it means for us, there's really no point, right? It's just somebody talking. But it's through taking in information, digesting it, and doing something with it, i.e., even just writing down what you personally think about it, what it brings up for you. That's where we begin to integrate and move forward and make progress and build our path with information, right? So I'm going to let you do that. And then we're going to move into some card work. All right, my loves. I have a card spread that I put together for us here. Hello, my loves. Future Leanne popping in here. So originally when I recorded our little ritual, I pulled all the cards for the collective and didn't really give you time to do your own journal spread. And after editing through kind of our talk and just how we set the stage up until this point, I'm feeling like it would be more beneficial to allow you the space to sink into these prompts on your own, especially since they're focused on inner truth and your vision. I talked a lot about the collective energy, and you don't need me to say it all again in a different way based on the cards that come up. So if you see me waving my hands around and talking and pulling cards, just know that that's what was there, and now there is music and there is space for you to draw your own cards. And I will end with a little collective message to tie it up. So we will have a little mini final card reading and close out the space together. So I've put the card spread in the description box for you to go ahead and hop on with that if you would like to do that. It's kind of a two-part spread. So the first part of the spread, or two separate spreads, I should say. The first part is a story of your inner truth journey. So, what are you releasing within this journey or this story? The experience of finding your inner truth. What are you present in within that journey at the moment, and where are you being called to within that journey? And then the second part is about your vision. So the prompts for that are: what would support me in casting my vision at this time? What vision is calling for my attention the most as I move forward? And a final card of a message from my higher self on my path to a soul aligned life at this time. And again, those are in the description box for you, so you can follow along. But yeah, let me know. I was going to say let me know how you felt about this, but to be honest, this just feels right for me and really in line with my original intention for this video. So grab your cards, sink into the prompts, and I will see you for our closing together. And I want to get one final message for us as we close out our little ritual space together. And I'm not even sure what to ask. What do we need to know? The Knight of Pentacles. Move forward with patience. Stay steadfast in the pursuit of your vision, my love. But don't forget to cast the vision, to make your choice. You want to make sure that you're dedicated to the right thing this year. And that you're not dedicated to that which no longer serves you. So don't be afraid if you're feeling called to, this is only going to be a message for some of you, but if you're feeling called to move away from something that you've been working on for a long time, or to pivot directions, it doesn't mean that you have abandoned your position as the knight. You're just course correcting on the same path. It may feel like a walking away, but it's a walking further towards where it is that you would actually like to go. And creating a more stable foundation for yourself. And our final message here with the Four of Pentacles is to not be too flashy, too out there, too spreading of the vision before we're ready. And that can be hard when we get really excited about things, right? We want to share them. But sometimes it's not time yet to share them. We don't want other people interjecting their kind of creative energy into what we're trying to bring through, to understand, to cultivate the vision of. And it also makes us feel like we can't pivot as much as we may need to, because we've already said we're going to do one thing, right? So as you're moving, as you're stepping deeper onto your path, as you're pivoting along your path, there's an invitation to keep pieces of that to yourself until you're ready. Okay, my loves. Let's close out our space together. Taking a deep breath in and out. Closing your eyes if you have not already. Taking a moment to connect back in with everything that we built for ourselves. All the connections that we tapped into. Thanking our spirit guides, our allies, our divine cosmic guides, our healed ancestors, and any deities and other beings that showed up to work for our highest and greatest good today. We thank you for all of your wisdom and guidance. We release the connection to you, and we release the connection to each other. When we take our final breath in and exhale out together, you will be back in your own personal space, connected to nothing but your own personal energy. With deep love and gratitude, and so it is. Deep breath in and out. Wiggling the fingers, stretching, releasing. Thank you so much, my loves, for joining me today. I hope that you found this helpful and you enjoyed joining me on my own personal ritual that I usually do at the beginning of the month. At this time, I would invite you into some mystical homework. If you have not already, go ahead and dive into the card prompts and take some time to cast your visions for yourself, whether that be visions for the larger space or visions for the month ahead. This is really time to dig in and get juicy and explore and allow yourself to have that childlike wonder and play and to not get too hung up on choosing the right thing or the one thing or even the wrong thing, and just allowing yourself to be the visionary. All right, my loves, I will see you again soon. Take care.